Here we go. Lamed Aleph, Amid Aleph. Lamed Aleph, Amid Aleph. We're going to start smack in middle of the Amid. We are middle of a dismembering. Oh yeah, I can just move this. Sorry. No. It wasn't meant to be there. It's meant to be here. You're good. You're in the middle of dismembering the Karban Tamid. Karban Tamid. We took off the head, the legs, the arm, and now we just finished rinsing off the intestines and rinsing off the karbayim as well as the stomach. Notal esasakin. Mamish, smack in middle of Lamed Aleph, Lamed Aleph. The first one online is es ha sakin. He takes the sakin, v'hifresh asareya. We did a little bit of this yesterday. He separates the reya min hakaved. He separates the lung from the liver. So those that know the inside of the body understand what this means. The rest of us are just going to take the Gemara's word from it. Apparently the lung and the liver are near each other. So he separates the lung from the liver, the etzva hakaved, and the fingers, literally the appendages of the liver, min hakaved, from the liver. V'lo haya maziza he did not remove it from its place. He left it there. Next, Noikev as hachazeh. He makes a hole in the chazeh, chest. Article translated as breast, but it's the same area. And he gives to the one that was in that part of the animal. He comes to, I didn't close that for you not to take. I closed that to stay warm for when you want to take. Allah l'daifen hayamanis. Nothing changed since you left, Shragi. Don't be nervous. Allah l'daifen hayamanis. He comes to the right, literally plank or flank. Hayachaitech, he cuts the yored, and he goes ad hashidra until the spine. Tzadik baliyir. Do not touch the spine. Ad shemagia lebein slaot dakot, until you reach between the two small ribs. Chatzcha, he cuts them. That guy is getting a nice rib matziv. Okay, two of the top ribs. The hakaved tliyaban. And guess what? A little bit of a bonus prize. The liver is hanging from it. Next, balay legeira. He reaches the neck. Hiniach ba. We are lamed aleph amid aleph. It's hanging up. Yeah. However, that's done correct. Then he hands it to the kohen that gets it. Bala legira, he comes to the neck. Bala legira comes to the neck. Hiniach ba shtei tzlaois mikan ubei tzlaois mikan. So the neck is going to come with two ribs on either side. You can imagine, shtickle neck matziv, the gargle, two ribs on either side. Chatzcha yikatziv nasmishazachava. Hakana v'halev, hakana v'halev, v'hareya tuliyim ba. And what's hanging together with your two ribs? You got a bonus: the trachea, the heart, and the lungs. Mayurdik. Balo Devin Smilis, that's all on the right side. Now you come to the left side. The two soft ribs, milmalan. And two ribs below. And so they would leave it for the next guy. They would leave it attached to the next one, the next ribs. Nimsa, so what does it come out? Maniach shtayim milmala. Ushtayim mil mata. We have two ribs on top, two ribs on bottom. And guess what's with these ribs? And the spine is with it. Hatchul. Here we go. What's next? The spleen. Taliba is hanging from it. And it was large. We got a large spleen hanging out from it. Ella. Shal Yamin Kairin Gedayla, the right side is called the Gedayla. Why? Because remember, what was hanging down the right side? The Kaved. The liver was Tliyaba. Balayla Oikets. Now we get to the Oikets. Chatzcha They cut it, and what's hanging together with the back spine? The aliyah, the tail, the aliyah, yummy, yummy. The etzva hakaved, and the liver appendages, ubeis kloyos. You got two kidneys with it. Not till it's a regular smalit. You take the left leg, chatzcha, the nasna, lemisha zachaba. So, if you ever wanted a little bit of a play-by-play, how to dissect and dismember a little sheep, a tleh, now you know how to do it. Nimsa, says the Gemara. Now we're going to have the lineup. Starting line. Here we go. Nimsa, what do we got? Says the Mishnah. Nimsa. Here we go. The Mishnah now goes through what's going on. Kulam oimdim b'shur. We have a line. We have a line, a procession of all the kohanim holding the different parts of the animal. 9 different kohanim holding different parts of the animal. There's actually a nice picture. Not that you can't picture what it means 9 kohanim, but just gives you, again, I personally... Everybody had yes. And then they mamish made a line, a little, mariachi band over there. And they go and walk to the Mizbeach in unison. Okay, these are all the gory pictures for those who really want to know the different parts of the body. We'll get there. No. Here we go. Here we go. Here's it is. Look at that. We get all the Kehanim lined up, going one by one after each other, to bring the Tamid, each part, to the Mizbeach. And now, the Olam has constantly been realizing the absolute precision in the Avodah. And I think today we're going to see another level. Because how do you hold something? I don't know. You pick it up and you carry it. Let's look in what the Mishnah says. And the limbs are in their hands. Harishain. The first guy, what does he have? Beraish. He has the head, uberegel, and the right leg. How do you have the head and the right leg? Haraish biyaminai. The head is in your right hand. Chesky, come and join us. Have some schnitzel and chalent. Haraish biyaminai. The head, or you can just have some cold water. No pressure. I know you don't eat kashrus outside of your own personal home. Very makbid. Haraish biyaminai. The head is in his right hand. V'chaytmai, and the nose. Kalape zura'ai is towards his arm. Karnav, the horns. Bein etzba'ai, between his fingers. Beis shchitasai, the area of the incision of the shchita. Milmala, what's on top of the area of the incision? Yes. What's on top of the area of the incision? If you remember the fats, the hapoder and the fat is nasan aleha. So you have the kohen holding the oh wow, this is yum. Okay, whoever's eating, it's a good picture for you. Right over here, top, this one over here shows you mamish how he's holding it right hand between the fingers. You got all the different parts of the body coming. Take a bite of cholent, enjoy it, and weiter. So what I was pointing out is even a higher level of precision, not just who held the different parts of the animal, but how they held it. You didn't just take the head. You're going to serve the king. You're bringing a carbon, the first carbon of the day. So you got the head with the horns and the thing and the fat. Mayridik. Next. The fourth line. Haregel shalmin. And now that same koyin got the right leg. That's bismalai. That's in his left hand. Ubeis ayron lachotz. And the skin side, the incision side is outward. Koyin number 1. Hashemi. Yeah, over here. Drop, everyone's holding their hands. Two folding, waiting until. Yeah. I mean, they do this every day. So, and you only got it like once a year. So, you got one job, carry the head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not for the faint of heart. Hashemi. The second guy, what does he get? Shtei yadayim, the 2 hands, the 4 legs. Shall yamin, in his right hand, biyaminai. Shall small b'smolo, the right one's going the right hand, the left goes left hand. Ubeis aron, the chutz, incision is outward. Hashlishi, the third guy, ba'oiketz.
So he took both hands together.
Azoi, 2 different ones. Here we go. Shtei Yadayim. Here you go. You got your Shtei Yadayim. Come on, Nachi. That makes you happy. Come on, Nachi. Come on, two geschmack of flanks. Yeah. The first guy is the one that's chickle juggling. But you'll see, because you remember there's one guy that has, some ribs with the liver hanging down. Shtickle matzav. Let's get there. Shlishi. The third guy, ba'oiketz uberegel ha'oiketz. The third guy, the regel, the back and the front hind legs, biyaminoi, va'alya, and the tail, midul deles, is hanging, bein etzba isav, is hanging out between his fingers. Yum. Ve'etzva kaved, and the fingers of the liver, shtei klayos, and the two kidneys, imoi, on the right hand. Haregel shall small, the left leg, bismola in his left hand, and again the incision part outward. Haravi, the fourth guy, b'chaza b'geira, the breast and the neck. Chaza b'yamina v'ger b'smal yaloi. Utzlaisav, excuse me, and the two ribs being shteyas ba'ayis are between his fingers. HaChamishi, as you realize this is not so simple, but okay. Chamishi, the fifth kayin, b'shtei defanei shall yamin, the two right planks, b'yamina in his right hand, shall small b'smalei, b'yisar the chutz, incision outward. Hashishi, the sixth kayin, karbayim, the intestines, and asuyin b'bazech, they're in a bowl. Intestines you can't really hold. I'm sure they have a wonderful picture. Okay, let's not go look for it. V'akarayin al gabeyem, and what's on top of the intestines? The feet of the animal. Shtickle feet are sitting on top of there. Yummy. Milmala. Hazayin, the seventh kayin. Bisoiles has the flour. Hashmini has chavitin. For the kayin gadol, Atshi has v'yayin. Holchu, they all go. V'nosnam, where are they placing all these parts of the animal? Mechatzi keves ulamata, the lower half of the ramp over here. The bottom of the ramp is where they're placing it. I'm covering it over. The bottom of the ramp is where they're placing all the different parts of the animal. Bimaravai on the western side. Umalcham, and they salt it. V'yardu, they go down. Ubalan lishazagazis, to do what? The day is starting. We got to say Shema. Likrais es Shema. So lots of nitty gritty details. A little bit.
If someone that says it's a garden,
Just sitting there. All the parts sitting on the ramp. Shtickle salt, and we move on. Here, this is actually one of my favorite pictures. Look at this Look at this one down here. You mama see the whole animal from the head, all the different pieces sitting there in one beautiful line on the ramp. Yeah, that looks like a nice barbecue waiting. Come on. Got the head sitting there. Yeah, that looks fun. Okay, here we go. Okay, and so really the Mishnah, the whole second half of the Mishnah, this whole and a half was just how to cut open an animal, which is complicated, detailed, but okay. But if you remember, the first part of the Mishnah was how they tie up the animal. And we said they don't tie it regularly, all four limbs together, front and back legs, but rather, what do? They tie the front leg to the back leg, the front leg to the back leg. So says the Gemara, Tana Yad V'Regel Ka'akedas Yitzchak. This is how Yitzchak Avinu was tied up. Ben Avraham. Loya Kaiftin Esetzla, they want to tie it up. Says Gemara, my timer. Why Lemaisa are they not tying it up? Why are they tying up not all four legs together, but arm and leg, like a kid has been Yitzchak? Why? Ravuna Rav Chisda, Chad Amar Mishum Bizayon Kachim, V'Chad Amar Mishum Temahalech B'Chukei Ha'amim. Either it's a Bizayon, it's Bizayon for Kachim to be tied up. Why? Because that's the way that when you sell an animal, you tie all the legs together. So we want a carbon to be tied up in a different mannerism. That's Bizayon. Because when the Goyim would offer their karbanos to their Avodah Zarah, They would tie it all up together. So we do it. So we do it differently. Exactly. My beinayu. What's the practical difference? Ikbeinayu dekavti b'shirai. You tie it up with a silk string. You tie all four together, but use a chush of a string. So according to the sheet of Bizayin, that's not a Bizayin. That's a Gishmak thing, but it's still the way that the Goyim do it. Inami behuta dedava, or with golden cords. Hutza dedava, golden cords. Another nafkamina that's clearly not a Bizayin. Period. That's part A of the Gemara, dealing with how they tied it up. Either Bizayin or not to do like the Goyim, nafkamina, silk, or golden cords. Tanan Hasam. We learned in the Mishnah that there's an area that they rinsed off. We're now going to focus for a moment on magnetels. No, we're going to focus over here. Over here we have, yeah, you can't see anything over here. I'm sorry. And you still can't see anything. Okay, it's a little better. Over here, next to the Mizbeach, you have the rings, followed by the tables, followed by those pillars. So now we're going to focus on what were these rings, tables, and pillars in the Beis HaMikdash. Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara Tanan. We're smacking in the middle of the Amid. The first word on the line is Didahava. Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah. Tanan Hasam Shalish Esi Shulchana Isaya B'Mikdash. How many tables? 13. Shemaina, 8 of them. Shel Shayish, marble tables. Bebeis HaMitbachayim, in the slaughter area. Shalehem, that on top of them, what do? Madichen, they rinsed off as a karabayim, the inners of the animals. Beis b'marava shel keves. There were 2 more tables on the western side of the ramp. Look up there. You see number 7? That's what we're talking about. Number 7, next to the ramp of the Mizbeach. Number 7, Beis b'marava shel keves. Echad shel shayish. Those 2 tables. One is marble. V'echad shel kesef. What are they of silver? What do they do on these tables? Al shel shayish noisin esayvarim. They would put the limbs. Val shel kesef, they put kli sharis. So far, how many tables do we have? 10. Uba ulam, and in the ulam, shnayim, or 2 more tables, mibifnim, al pesach habayis, by the doorway. Echad shel kesef, v'echad shel zahav. Where is that? Yeah, it doesn't show them there. Travesty. Okay, but that's where they are by number 10. Thank you. That is the ulam. Okay, right by the doorway were 2 more tables. Shal kesef was for what? Nice lechem aponim b'knisasai.
Number 11? Oh, no, there was something.
No, those are inside. Those are time. No, you're right. It's by number 10, right by the door in the center. The silver table, they put the lechem aponim when they come in. Val shal zav, and the golden table be yitziyase when they go out. Why? Shemalin b'kodesh v'loy ma'ridin. You go up in kedusha. Oh, what do? They come in with the lechem aponim, they put it down. They go in, and the way they did lechem aponim was they pushed out the old ones. The new ones come in, they push out the old ones, so there's never a moment without lechem aponim. The old ones come out, are put down on the golden table, and then are brought out, and then they eat it after being there for the week. So now we're up to 12 tables, and finally, we have one last table of zav in the heichal, which we are sha'alav lechem apanim tamid. That's called the shulchan, the table. I know it's a little bit of that's a shtickle trick question. I found 12 tables. Where's the 13th? The shulchan was a table that the lechem apanim always on. Says the Gemara. 1 second. Mechti einanios. This is God's house. What do you have, marble tables? I know marble's chashiv, but gold is that much more chashiv. Amay avdi d'shayish. Why do you have a marble table? Na'avdi d'kesev and na'avdi d'zov. Make of silver, make of gold. Oh, Very good. I'm Rav Chanina V'Shem. Ravasi, Shem, Rav Yishmael, Rav Yitzchak, Neishe, Hoyu Martiach. What happens with gold and silver when it gets hot? Chevra, it's hot outside today. If you had a gold or silver table or a metal table, it's the same thing. It gets very hot. If you take the innards of the animal and you put it down, starts sizzling and makes the whole thing gross. So they got a marble table. Marble doesn't conduct heat, so that you can rinse off the things appropriately. Okay. Why not? That it doesn't sound that would bother. Yeah, why not? You rinse it off afterwards. Who cares? Yeah, but it's really the same thing. Is that we don't want to ruin it.
By wine.
Very good. I was seeing the same thing. By wine, that whole famous story, putting gold in silver things. The answer is no way. It's going to ruin it. Ratiach, yes. Yeah. Boiling. Very good. Says the Gemara. Well, I actually think martiach means spoil. Spoil, boil, one of the two. I never remember. No, it means boil. Martiach means boil. Shel shachar. So we spoke about the two karbanos. One is on the north, right here, the rings. One is these are Tamid Shel Shachar, Tamid Shel Ben Arbayim. One is on the right side, one is on the left side. That's the rings that they stuck the animal in. Says the Gemara, where do we know this from? Minahani Mili, one last shtickle Gemara, Mervachista Damar Kra, Shnayim Layoim. Says in the pasuk, 2 for the day. Kineged Hayoim, opposite the day, which means Tamid Shel Shachar, Tamid Shel Ben Arbayim. Sunrise, sunset, east, west. Morning starts in one area, night goes to the other area. Tananami Hachi says, I'll bring you a raya. Shnayim nayoyim kineged ayoyim. Opposite the day, opposite the direction of the day. Toimer neged ayoyim. Oyenu elo choyves ayoyim. How do you know the pasuk is referring to where to do it? Maybe it just means that you have an obligation to do every day. We already know where Chavis Hayom Amor. Hamani Makayim. What do we do with the pasuk Shnayim Nayoim? Neged Hayoim. Opposite the day, it's a location. Ha Kitzad. What does that mean? Tamid Shel Shachar. Tamid Shel Shachar. Hayanishchat al Karen Sfainis Ma'aravis. Al Tabas Shniya on the northwestern. V'shal bein harbayim and ishal karen tzfainis mizrach is northeastern al Tabas Shniya. Sunrise, sunset. The daytime northwest in the morning, northeast in the afternoon. Okay, Chavra, we have 2 blot left. I don't know if we'll finish next week, whether we do or we don't. Next Thursday night, Rav Yaakov, whether we'll see him next Thursday night. Siyata D'Shemaya, please RSVP so we have a head count.